let's talk about money. It's not something that's talked about very much in our politics, which is surprising. We talk about the economy and abstractions, but the truth is, money is at the heart of conversations around the dinner table. It's a real thing. It's a tangible thing. Cash dollars. 58% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 70% of Americans have financial anxiety. 40% of the country only has $400 cash available for an emergency. When we think about stupendous salaries, Americans are conditioned to link that to fame, but to entertainment fame, movie stars, great athletes. It's really not top of mind to think that Tucker Carlson makes as much money for lying as Tom Brady does for being the greatest quarterback in NFL history. You can make as much money in America lying with skill as you can being a rock star or being the greatest baseball player or basketball player. You can fly on private jets and live a life of luxury beyond the comprehension of most ordinary Americans. When you think about the Fox News lineup, it's important to remember that all of the professional liars are world class and the most highly paid liars in world history. Tucker Carlson is making more than $30 million a year. Sean Hannity makes more than $40 million a year. Laura Ingraham makes tens of millions of dollars a year. Rupert Murdoch's empire is sustained by lies. It's $1 billion empire. What these people care about is not America, not you, not your children, not the future, not democracy. They have no connection to our ancestors, to the profound sacrifices that beg our imagination. What they care about is the here and now. What they care about is the present. What they care about is how much they can take right now in the present moment. So when two of America's most spectacular and prolific liars come together and meet in Congress, one to make money and the other to seek power, it is always an occasion worth noting. Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump coming together for a Mar-a-Lago conclave is quite a thing. The first thing to remember is that Tucker Carlson despises Donald Trump. He hates him. Tucker Carlson thinks that Donald Trump is low class, like his supporters. He's repulsed by them. Tucker Carlson is a privileged trust fund kid. He doesn't like the Trump voter. How do we know that? We know that from Tucker Carlson's emails. We know that he thinks that Trump is a buffoon. We know that he thinks he's a toxic clown. According to the words of Tucker Carlson, I hate Trump. Yet there he sat in front of Donald Trump, utterly obsequious, cowed, submissive, before the great leader of America's extremist MAGA movement. And there we learned in the interview that the people cried and wept by the bushel as Donald Trump was criminally processed in the Manhattan courts. Now, none of this is true. All of it is fantastical. All of it is easily refutable. But it is interesting to watch this prolific liar interview another prolific liar and watch him sit there quietly through the ravings and the madness that we already know that he knows isn't true. Watching these two together is an extraordinary event. It speaks to societal decay, corruption, a loss of the concepts of responsibility, obligation, patriotism at an epic level. If America's greatest leaders could return or look down from heaven and see this spectacle for just a minute, they would be shocked by the depravity of it all. It's as sick as anything gets. And yet, there's great reward for it. Fox News makes billions. Tucker Carlson makes tens of millions, and America gets torn up in the process. Tucker Carlson is as good at lying as Tom Brady is at playing football. That much is true. It's just not naturally instinctive to think that they pay the same. Lying didn't used to pay like that in America. When we think about professional liars, there was a time not so long ago when a liar was a caricature, someone like a Joe Isuzu, not our anchorman, not the people who were supposed to deliver news, not the leaders of television networks. Why can't the American people get the truth? And the answer to that question is because there's billions to be made from lying, and billions more to be made from imprisoning those people and those lies together in an algorithmic silo, a prison where they lose intellectual sovereignty. And what all of this fuels is extremism. All across America, we see this burgeoning fascist movement. We see it growling. We see it evolving. We see it metastasizing constantly into something new and dangerous, spreading its tentacles, manifesting itself in 100 different ways in any given week. All of this is not caused by Trump, but all of it is derivative of the Trump MAGA era. All of it is the fruit of the lies. All of it is a fruit of the grievance, the poison that has divided the American people for 8 long years of insanity. So what was Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump sitting down together? What it was a perversion of truth. What it was a show, a con, a ruse aimed at the most gullible Americans, those who are lonely, insecure, financially strapped, those who are most susceptible to the lie that their lives can be made better by making someone else's worse. It's the oldest trick in the demagogue book, and Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump are adept players at it. Watching them together in Mar-a-Lago in Trump's tacky gilded room was a sickening event, an appalling spectacle. The 2024 election cycle is getting off to a slow start, but the 2024 election will come. The man we saw last night in the Tucker Carlson interview is unfit at the most profound level of unfitness that could possibly be described. He's a liar. He's mentally addled. He's dangerously narcissistic. He has no business commanding anything, let alone a nuclear submarine. And Tucker Carlson and the Tucker Carlsons of the world will protect him. They'll protect him with a swarm of lies. They'll smear. They'll attack. They'll divide by race, by religion, by sexuality. They'll try to pit one group of Americans against the other. Why? In one hand, for money, and in the other, for power. And the only group of people in the world that can make that stop are the American people. And we'll have a chance again in November of 2024.